Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Today, let's dive into the numbers, the manipulation, and its profound implications for the future of the global economy. Let's start with some eye-opening facts. The current spot price for gold is $3,330.20. For silver, we're looking at $33.34. Now, let's do a quick calculation. This puts the vapor to silver ratio at a staggering 99.88. That means it takes nearly 100 ounces of silver to equal just 1 ounce of gold. Well, let's take a look at what's going on here. When we look at the actual mining ratios, we have a slide on this, Margaret Ann, the graph. Okay. All right. And it's supposed to say something at the top. This is the graph of the declining mining ratios over time that continue to decrease. Mining ratios between gold and silver are closer to 7.1. That's right. Only 7 ounces of silver are mined for each ounce of gold. So why the discrepancy? Why does the market tell us we need almost 100 ounces of silver to match 1 ounce of gold when the reality is far less? Looking at the U.S. debt clock, we see the naked paper shorts are at 375.9 times the current spot price. Are we going to show a picture of that, Margaret Ann?
I don't have that.
Here, I'll put it up here. Here we go. Look. There's a spot price, 375.87 is a spot price. You want to make sure that they can see this, Margaret Ann?
They can see it.
Okay, all right. Okay, we had a slide for that one, but anyway. So let's see where we are here. Let's see.
Looking at the U.S. debt clock.
There's debt clock. Where are we? Let's see. Okay. Current spot price of $33.34. So we take 375.87 times $33.34. According to this metric, that's $12,532 per ounce of silver. But as Ron Popeil says from the Pocket Fisherman would say, but wait, there's more. 1 ounce of dimes are currently as low as $1.02 over ounce per spot, making each ounce of dimes just $34.36 per troy ounce of pure constitutional silver. Bars, rounds, and beanie babies are advertised as much as $3.49 over spot for foreign currency, or worse yet, currencies from another era, pre-1933. How are shop proprietors going to know what is real and what isn't real? They're supposed to know a full litany of all the different currencies have been used, or simply coin of the realm? I think we need to stick with coin of the realm. Additionally, the 1 ounce of dimes, silver and dimes affords you 14 transactions per ounce, as opposed to 1 ounce type 1, a 1 ounce type 1 American Silver Eagle offering only 1 transaction per ounce, but is globally recognized as U.S. constitutional money. The smart stackers fractionalize his purchases to be able to come as close to an agreed price as possible using U.S. coin containing real silver, 90% here in the U.S., knowing full well the U.S. fiat dollar is on its last legs. As the real value of silver finds its true market value, the smart and prudent stacker will focus on pre-1965 dimes. But here's the issue that lies in the unconstrained manipulation of the present precious metals markets. The paper gold and paper silver ratio do not reflect true supply and demand. Instead of it's a product of financial manipulation that distorts the real value of these metals. We're seeing this not only in the gold markets, but also in exchanges like the Shanghai Gold Exchange and the COMEX, where pricing discrepancies are growing more and more apparent by the day. This manipulation is causing a fracture within the global financial system, a fracture that, quite frankly, seems beyond repair. The cracks are too wide, the foundation too unstable. And as much as they try to maintain control, the reality is that we're on the verge of a monumental shift, a complete global currency reset. Exactly what I told you. I told you so. The reset is inevitable and is going to be more profound than we can fully imagine. We are looking at a return to sovereign money, a return to the financial autonomy of each of the 209 sovereign nations around the world. No longer will one central institution, the Bank for International Settlements, the central bank of central banks, the BIS.org, control the flow of currency, the stability of economies, and the value of money. For over a century, the Bank for International Settlements has been the central bank for central banks, orchestrating monetary policy behind the scenes and holding control over nearly all the world's banking systems. They've kept the game going, manipulating interest rates, currency values, commodities in a way that benefits the few, leaving the rest of us holding the bag. Doesn't that sound like Keynesian economics, where the few are creating currency on a depending on what their whims are of the few? And how do you think that benefits the rest of us? Or do you think it benefits the little crowns that they have? But as we're witnessing, the sun is setting on this global monopoly. The system is broken. The illusion is crumbling. People are waking up. The discrepancy between paper gold and paper silver is just one symptom of a much larger problem. When the real value of silver, real tangible assets like gold and silver are manipulated, it's a clear indication that the financial system is operating on borrowed time. The forces of supply and demand no longer rule the markets. Instead, the central banks pull the strings. That's not a free market. We haven't had a free market in a long time. We have not experienced capitalism for many, many years. But here's the good news. The cracks in the system are wide enough that light is beginning to shine through. We're witnessing all the early stages of a new financial reality. We're on it. One that will return value to sovereign nations and restore a sense of balance to the global economy. We got this. As a globalist currency reset approaches, gold and silver once again play a crucial role. How do we know this? How about 6,000 years of history? The manipulation we see today will no longer be able to withstand the weight of reality. That's why it's critical, now more than ever, for us to understand the true value of these metals, the real supply and demand dynamics, and the changes that are coming. The global financial system is fracturing, and when it resets, we must be ready. And we are. Stack the dimes as low as $1.02 over spot. We're living through one of the most significant financial transitions in history. It's a time for awareness, for education, most importantly, for action. It's a time to invest in real money, the kind that has stood the test of time, gold and silver. And perhaps more importantly, it's a time to prepare for the new era of global finance, where nations will once again regain control of their currencies, their economies, and their individual cultures. Thank you for joining me this morning, and I look forward to discussing this more in the upcoming broadcast. Stay informed, stay prepared, and as always, stay strong. Oh, goodness, no one's above the law. Imagine being a judge and being issued out like that and a pair of handcuffs behind your back. Yeah, goodness, not a real... RICO time. This was my favorite. The reason I love RICO is because if you're found guilty of a RICO violation, it's treble damages, treble of 1, 2, 3 times the damages, whatever you made. Sure, judges who harbor illegal aliens should be prosecuted, but also, why don't we get them real good? Miller on Gitmo. Gitmo is full, but he's going to tell you. Watch.
Is Gitmo still open? Are there any illegal immigrants who have been taken to Guantanamo Bay today, or has that prison been closed?
No, it's wide open. Gitmo is open. There are a number of foreign terrorist aliens that are being housed at Gitmo, awaiting final removal to another destination. But what I want to be very clear on,
Can you tell me how
Bill,
many?
No, I cannot. That's operationally sensitive information.
Dozens or more?
It's a large number. The exact number is operationally sensitive, to do with military and other considerations relating to the security of those who are there and the security of those who are operating the facility. But I want to be very, very clear about this, Bill. We've been living through a hoax. Nobody was mistakenly sent to El Salvador. He was ordered deported from this country in 2019. He's an illegal alien. His home nation is El Salvador. That is where he belongs.
That's what we've done here. Trump's final game theory, the silent war, is reaching its breaking point. The battlefield has shifted, folks. What you're witnessing right now isn't chaos. It's calculated warfare. President Trump's final game plan theory is not about saving a broken system. It's about exposing, collapsing, and replacing. Exactly what we said. Every move, every appointment, every delay is part of a deliberate strategy. The visible battles in the news are just the surface. Beneath that surface, a seismic operation is unfolding, and one that targets the very arteries of the shadow government itself. And the names you need to pay attention to are not just Trump, but the warriors he has strategically placed at the gates. The real operators are Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, Dan Bongino, and RFK Jr. These are not random appointees. These are strategically deployed operators, and each playing a critical role in dismantling the deep state machine. But now they're under attack, so Operation Turncoat. The deep state isn't just playing defense. Now they know Trump's endgame is closer than ever. That's why a new coordinated PSYOP has been unleashed. Operation Turncoat, the effort to undermine Trump by discrediting his key operators before the decisive moves unfold. Kash Patel's silence is spun as weakness, lack of control, or knowledge. Pam Bondi is smeared as incompetent with demands for resignation. Dan Bongino is attacked as a grifter. RFK Jr. is painted as controlled opposition. They want you demoralized. They want the MAGA movement fragmented. They want to destroy Trump's confidence network from the inside out. It's the same tactic used against Lincoln's generals and Washington's lieutenants. Isolate the leader by assassinating loyalty. But just like then, it will fail.
5 life lessons you need to hear. Most people don't accept number 5 until they're 50, so make sure to watch till then. Number 1, life waits for nobody. The moment you take time to think about something, that something is already gone. Get up every day, keep pushing through, and never give up. Number 2, learn something new every day. Wherever there is struggle, there is something that needs to be learned. Learn to love learning. Knowledge will take you farther than any PR you set in the gym. Number 3, if you don't work to build your dream life, someone will hire you to build theirs. Number 4, work in silence. Celebrate your achievements in private. Nobody really cares what you've done. They only care about what you can give them. If it doesn't benefit them, they will drag you down. Lastly, number 5, don't regret your past. Your past is what made you who you are. You have unique life experience that someone is waiting to hear to change theirs. If you made it this far, drop a 100% in the comments and hit that follow button, because this account is for winners like you.